Okay, first thing I want to cover for everybody is the glory of the North Korean military. Now, as a dirty imperialist American pig, I will never truly know what it's like to have a moral and glorious military that smites dirty capitalism. So, instead, all I can do is show you the amazing skill and power of the North Korean military directly and let you reflect on your inferiority. Okay? So, we're going to look at some of this footage.
이당의 품속에서 자란 조선인민군 군인의 힘과 지상, 혈기와 용맹이 어떤 것인지 만천하에 떨치는 일당백 전투원들입니다.
Can I just say quick about this right here? What's impressive about this? What use is this on the battlefield? You know, guys, if the American dogs invade and they make you lay down before placing a cinder block on you and then hitting said cinder block with a hammer, they're gonna have a surprise waiting for them. They're gonna have a surprise waiting. This dude is ready for the American cinder block division. My God, if the Americans make them put two pieces of metal between themselves and then push towards each other, bending said metal, they're gonna have another thing coming. There's no practical use for anything they're displaying here. This is literally a 90s magic act. Keep that in your head for a bit. Wow.
우리 전투원들은
I mean, like if you look, give it a second.
사령관 동지께서 안겨주신 담력.
What? There's zero practical use here. It's just glass. You just made him lay down on glass.
과 배짱, 천한 무적의 억센 힘과 용맹을 더 억세게 벼려갈 불같은 결의에 충만되어
And he's so happy.
있습니다. 자, 늠름하고 믿음직한 모습들이 바로 조국이 자랑하는 우리의 일당백 전투원들입니다. 지금 날아오는 단독 피하기와 막기를 진행하고 있습니다.
Dude, they're like throwing knives and dodging knives when like the entirety of their division would just be wiped out and like the entirety of their tiny little unit would just be wiped out with like a drone strike. And I'm not saying that to be like a chauvinist. I'm just saying in like practical modern military terms, when you think about the force they would be fighting the American military. So they'd be practicing knife throwing when American, like 1,000 miles away, would just be leaning back in their chair like, okay, I got him in my sights. Boop, and then boom.
난도 높은 여러 가지 격파 동작을 연방 수행하고 있는 우리의 용맹한 전투원들에게
Okay. Wow.
군들은 열광적인 박수를 보내고 있습니다.
So happy. Wonderful. He has a headache. Okay.
번개 같은 비수가 될 굳은 결의가 가슴마다에 비껴 있습니다.
Dude, you know, if the American military completely supplies itself solely from Home Depot, they are prepared. Okay. So we watched that. Now I also want to show, and somebody brought this up multiple times in chat. Like, this just looks like the circus. Like, there's no difference between this and the circus. And you're actually right. There is not much of a difference between this and the circus. And this is a magic expert, an expert in like playing cards and stuff like that. Not an actual magic expert. I'm sorry, he's not going to be throwing fireballs and such. Breaking down the video.
Michael J. Fitch, a professional magician, member of the Inner Magic Circle.
By the way, the Inner Magic Circle sounds beautiful. That sounds super badass.
Obviously, I can't give away any methods because being a member of the Inner Magic Circle, any member of the Magic Circle is sort of sworn to secrecy because there's a lot of performers and colleagues who perform the same effects. They're not in the army, they're entertainers, and that's what they do. It is impressive, you know, when you watch the videos all together, it's very sort of superhero-like watching it. But, you know, if the UK government wants to produce this sort of video, all they've got to do is literally go to a circus or go to a karate school, and we could show even bigger strength with children doing the same thing. So there is a crossover sort of between the magic world and what we're seeing on there, and certainly recognise that. Breaking away from chains. So if I had my magician hat on and I was watching this on stage, I think, did anyone examine the chains first? Did they examine every link on the chain first? But I'm not going to take away from it because those guys are a lot bigger than me.
That's the thing I was thinking the whole time too when I saw this. There has to be something messed up with the chains, something up with the blocks, something up with the wood. They put a split in the wood because I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I know they don't just take random chairs and hit each other. They actually will prepare the chair to be used. They don't just use regular tables. They prepare the tables for people to be smashed through. They weaken it so it's easier to smash through. And there's no reason they would do anything different here. It's a real chair. When they get hit with chairs in wrestling, they do prepare it beforehand.
Breaking glass and laying on it goes back hundreds of years. You know, you'll see this performed by a lot of entertainers on stage, including Darren Brown. You know, he'll smash some bottles and lay them out on the floor and then take his shoes, socks off and stand there and get in a meditative state and, you know, and walk over the glass. Yeah, this isn't something new. Watching them grab a plank of wood and just strike at the other guy with the wood and the wood snapping. That's doable, and just, you know, withhold the pain. How strong is the wood? I don't know. I didn't examine it first, but not taking anything away from it, not saying anything. I certainly wouldn't want a plank of wood struck on me. I'll stick to card tricks. Bending a rod on your neck, this goes back a very, very long time. I've personally seen this performed, but yeah, there's the length of the steel involved, the thickness of the steel involved. This goes back to a sort of it's an ancient skill that's performed, and you'll often see this performed in a circus.
This guy isn't really saying much. Well, he's a magic dude. He's not going to tell you this is how it's done. He's just saying, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. And the reason he's seen this before as a magician, okay? Nothing we've seen is like a practical use of like military power or equipment that could be used to best an enemy. Half of it's probably just magic tricks, and the other half are just like crafts and tricks and like somewhat like maybe semi feats of strength that they've learned that again could be applied in a career in the circus and basically nowhere else.
As well. Concrete blocks. This is something that you're
like, these people should be wearing like clown makeup and like strongman like outfits, not military uniforms.
You'll find that, you know, in martial arts schools is something they'll aim for to demonstrate skills, and like I've said, you can see children performing these amazing skills as well.
Oh yeah, you can see children break cinder blocks. Actually, we can look at that quick. We go look up child breaks cinder block, right? This is a teenager, but you get the point. Look at this.
Do not try this at home. This is a Bosnian Taekwondo champion.
This Bosnian person must have been trained in the mountains of North Korea with nobody was looking by the elite military schools.
Who's setting a Guinness World Record for crushing building blocks with his head. The 16-year-old crushes 111 building blocks in just 35 seconds, which makes him a world record holder in this unusual discipline.
The weakest Bosnian, okay.
Well, without doubt, you know, they're, you know, really strong, tough guys and are very athletic and things, but there is an element of showmanship in there. You know, it's not the type of sort of extreme stunts or magic that I perform, but you know, I have.
That's super impressive, though. Like, yeah, but why train your soldiers to break cinder blocks? Why? It's a useless skill in the military.
Leagues that I've seen perform do the same tricks. You know, if you're laying on a bed of nails or you're walking on glass, then absolutely it is dangerous. But there are certain methods and ways of doing this and demonstrating this. You know, when you look at it, it does remind me of sort of watching a sort of circuses performances that I've seen of the same effects.
Okay, that's enough of that. The North Korean military has once again shown me that the American military stands no chance against a determined DPRK foe. And socialists are coping, and we must prepare for a multipolar order in a post-COVID world as infrared takes us to a new age.